Welcome to Fun Art at Home and your Winter Peeps painting tutorial. I'm so excited to paint this with you today, and welcome. If you don't have your kit, you can go to funartclass.com and buy your kit there. But we're going to start out with your foamy that you have in your kit, and we're going to dip in white and blue. But I want you to note blue is really powerful, okay? So you're going to definitely want to dip in mostly white and just a tiny bit of blue. And this is a splotchy looking background, so I didn't really mix my color. I just dipped in white and then in blue, and then you're going to blot all around on your background. I want to make sure and note that when you go around the subject matter of your birds and your trees, you're going to want to definitely blot over them just slightly. So I'll get rid of the majority of my paint out into the background, and then when I just have a little bit left on my brush, go ahead and blot right up there, right on the line. You don't want to have a white gap between your subject matter and your background. Also, it looks really nice if you have darker blue around the corners and the edge, and then lighter blue, a lighter background color in the middle. So we're just going to continue to blot all around. This sponge is really handy to get in the small areas. If you end up having too dark of a color, you can just dip in a little bit more white and blend it right on your canvas. So we're going to work all around our background. Make sure you carry your background around the sides of your canvas to give a nice finished look, which is what I just did. And then now you can see that I'm actually going in and lightening up the middle just a little bit. So we're going to mix some blue in with our brown, and that's going to give us a darker brown, almost a black. We're going to go ahead and use whichever brush in your kit that you're most comfortable with. And we're going to paint the tree. Notice that when I do these strokes, I'm doing a nice, solid, like continuous stroke. It's best to not make sketchy, short, sketchy strokes because they don't give a nice crisp edge. The key to getting that crisp edge is having a lot of paint on your brush, and then letting that paint squeeze out both sides of it. Sometimes I call it a shart. Don't tell anybody. It's just what it makes me think of. I can't help myself. So making nice continuous strokes with a decent amount of paint on your brush is going to give you just a really crisp, nice line in one stroke. Then I'm going to use the handle of the brush, dipping in thick paint, and just use that handle to make dots on the end of your branches. Now we're going to go ahead with your smallest brush you have, or whichever one you're most comfortable with, and we're going to paint red over your bird. So we're just doing the head and then the chest, and then I've added just a little bit of brown to the red to make a darker red to paint on the wing and the tail. And then we're going to go ahead and paint the face in black and do a dot with the handle of your brush for the eye. And then we're going to do the bottom of the beak red, and then add just a tiny bit of white to your brush to paint the top of the beak so it's a lighter red. And then we're going to paint his legs red as well. And I added just a tiny bit of white on it to give some highlight. So now I'm going to mix blue, and I mixed it with a tiny bit of brown to make a darker blue. And we're going to do that darker blue on the top part of your blue jay's head. And then added a little bit of white to that on the head, it looks like, and lightened it up. And then the body is going to be white. And honestly, if truth be told, I would do the white now. In this video, I did it last, but I would do white on his face first. But this dusty blue, you're just going to do a little bit of gray with your blue to paint his head and that middle section, his tail and that middle section. So we're going to paint his face black. You can use the handle of your brush to make that dot on his eye. And don't lose the line on either side of his eye, because that's a distinctive mark for a blue jay. So I've gone back in and I've made the wing a darker, like the bright blue. And added, you can either add a little bit of darker blue to the bottom of the wing to shade it, or lighter. And then I'm just going to go ahead and darken up the head. And then make these little defining marks. And they're just literally simple little lines on the tail there. So we're going to paint the tail white, which the second time I painted this, I painted the white first. But you can go back and add like a tiny little speck of white to your cardinal's eye, and a little bit of white also to the blue jay's eye. Sometimes I just am touching up things like as I go to improve them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. Oh, so it looks like I forgot to flip this video. So it is backwards, but now you're going to take the clip and your pom-pom that you have in your kit, and you're going to dip in pearl and then blot all over the canvas. I think I ended up using a paper towel, but you can use your little pom-pom, and you want to coat it pretty good. It's going to leave this really pretty sheen that's going to give the look of a summer winter day. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put my initials on my artwork. And we will call it done. So I hope you have enjoyed this painting class. Thank you so much for buying your Fun Art at Home kit. Please tag us, share your photos, tag us in Instagram and Fun Art Class on Facebook. And that will get you into a drawing for a free class in the future. So make sure that you share on social media all about us. And thank you so much